I'm joined here today by the one, the only, of course, talking about Rani Yahya, coming off the big win at UFC Vegas 43. What's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm
Happy
doing
to
well.
be here with you guys.
Yes, sir. Very happy to have you. So, man, how did everything go with the travel and all that stuff? We know COVID's made everything complicated. Getting back to Brazil, how did everything go for you?
Yeah, everything is going good. You mean traveling to US? I took advantage to from the situation. Like as soon as the thing started to shut down, I got a few people, like three, four people, a small group of people to train. We work a lot on techniques, light sparring only, and that increased my level a lot. I felt that I got better during the pandemic, and then I had the chance to travel early this year. Everything was shut in Vegas. No, I'm sorry, not in Vegas, but we had to be stay uh, locked down in the hotel, the UFC hotel in Vegas in March. Now things are so much different. People already can go in and out. Last time I was there in Vegas last week, so it was great. Just got used to the situation.
So, was it better for you getting prepared for the fight? I assume for the weight cut and everything like that, it makes things easier for you.
Oh yeah, man, I prefer, man. I try to take advantage of every situation because I believe that everything that happens, we have to look from optimist angle, optimist perspective. And I enjoyed. I was, of course, feeling for the people who lost their parents. Many people getting COVID. I got COVID myself, which affected my career. But I tried to take advantage. Like at the apex, everything is smaller, is more simple, things goes quicker. In the backstage in the UFC hotel, the nutrition team brings the food for us. There are not many expectation, makes a very familiar environment, so on the fight week. So I enjoy it.
So, how has COVID affected you physically? We know a lot of guys, especially a lot of fighters, that have a lot of problems breathing with their lungs and stuff like that. Are you still feeling effects from having COVID?
No, no. At the beginning, man, I have to admit that I was feeling tired, very tired. I took COVID. I felt bad for one day only. Well, that was when my fight against King Hoken was booked, and I tested positive on the day of the fight, on July 30th. And then I felt some symptoms. I felt my eyes a little pain in my eyes, a little fever. And then when I got back to training, like 8 9 days later, when I had already tested negative, I felt my cardio a little bit. I felt a little bit weak. So I just managed myself to get back up, and started to feel good again. And for my last camp, I was feeling much better than the camp that I did before, and so I ended up that I could presume that was a good thing that happened, that the fight was canceled at that time.
So let's talk about this fight a little bit. Obviously,
Mhm.
it wasn't the easiest fight for you, but you got the job done, won those last
Yeah.
two rounds. Are you happy with your performance looking back on the fight?
In one way, yes. Okay. In one way, I'm happy because I mean, for years, I always had in my mind that the perfect fight is when we go there, catch the guy, and finish the guy in the very first round, and get out of there with no damage. And I did that in a few fights in UFC. I had a few first round finishes in UFC where I didn't take any damage. My opponent didn't take any damage. Okay, I always understood that, like, the perfect fight, the perfect scenario for a fighter. But at that level, we go through adversity and we have to know how to overcome adversity. All fighters, when they are fighting this level for such a long time, they go through that. So in 40 fights, okay, that was the first time. No, not the first time. It happened before, but at least in the UFC, that was the first time that I had to overcome that type of adversity, to recover from a knockdown, and then keep the pace and actually increase the pace, knowing that I had lost the first round. So I was happy for that, that I was able to keep myself calm, to keep myself uh, motivated to win the fight, even after I almost lost the fight. And at the same time, man, I know that I can never put myself in that kind of situation again, like to get punched in the face, to stand in front of my opponent with no distance, just allowing him to hit me the way it happened. I mean, it just happened, the guy, my game plan just didn't work. Okay, my plan A, my A plan didn't work at all, and actually my plan B didn't work at all. But there was a plan C and a plan D for this fight, so I was calm enough to put these other plans in practice. So I was happy for that, but I understand that I gotta get better.
So we know that going through adversity, we find out more about who you are as a fighter, who you are as a
Mhm.
person. What did you learn from going through that experience?
Yeah, man. I learned that we have to be calm. I learned that I can never put myself on that type of situation where my opponent is in a position to hit me, and in a position to in a stance that he can knock me out. And for me, just being there absorbing punches, um, and and most of it is learn how to be calm to overcome the situations, because things can change. Keep yourself motivated, keep yourself uh, uh, strategically and mentally strong to do whatever you need to get done, to be done, to win.
And so we know after the fight, obviously, you talked to Daniel Cormier in the cage. It sounded like you were very emotional. How much did it
Mhm.
mean to you talking to Daniel Cormier in that moment and with everything you told us?
Yeah, man, he's a legend. Cormier is a legend. I was happy when he came to interview me. I was very happy, that I could pull that result. I was very happy that I could pull that win, because I put so much effort for that fighter, because we had the fight booked before, and then the fight got canceled on the day of the fight. Then we fought. He won the first round, and then of course at a moment, when the round was over, before the round was over, I said, "I'm fucked, man. How am I gonna win this fight?" And then went back to my corner, breathed a lot, and when I came to the second round, I came with another Porsche. I said, "No, now it's going to be different." I was conscious of that I had to do something different to win. I did it and I won. So I feel that uh, uh, I did steal the fight from him. So the way it went, and after we went through like 7 months training for each other, made me feel very happy.
What did your coaches tell you in the corner after the first round?
They did a very obvious thing, that was, the guy had the distance, that I had to move myself, or either move totally forward and press him against the fence to take him down. The thing was his jab. He found the distance because of his jab, very quick jab. And I had incredible training partners for this camp, quicker guys, even I could say better guys than him, with better records, with better accomplishments. I train with, like, I can name the animals that I train. Dennis Sabatello, who is 11-1 from fights in Bellator. Adriano Moraes, one FC champion. Many other guys, but no one had the the speed of his jab, and that made a whole lot of difference, because my A plan was to press him and push him, to push him against the fence, put him his back on the fence, and then shoot and start to do that, put him against the fence. But then he started to found his distance and land a few jabs on me that just I had a blank in my mind. I forgot completely what I supposed to do to try close the distance, and then he was just taking advantage from there, and then he's trying to hit me with jab and cross, and then he gave me a knockdown. And but I mean, after 40 pro fights like I did, like for a long time, you experience had to help me with something, and it did help. I kept myself calm, I kept myself motivated, optimist that I could do a turnaround in the fight, and I did it.
And so it sounds like next you're hoping for a fight against Sean O'Malley. What's the story with Sean O'Malley? Is there a story there? Like, why is Sean O'Malley next for you?
I mean, everybody wants to fight him. He is, of course, there's a lot of hype on him. Um, and I think he's a big name. It's a fight that brings visibility, of course, and it's a fight that I feel that I can beat him. Of course, I feel that I can beat him. I think this Hokan guy that I fought, I think he's a better level than O'Malley. Like, and I think that if they fought, Hokan very, very good with takedowns, would take him down and beat him up. And I think I could do even better than Hokan would do against him. I think I can do better than many guys are doing with Sean O'Malley. I mean, of course, he's protected by the UFC, and I think would make sense even for the UFC to book this fight, because you see, I uh, if they wanna increase Sean O'Malley's name, I'm probably one of the perfect names that the UFC would throw to him, because right now I'm a veteran. I've been in the game for a long time. I'm 37 now. They could say, "Hey, this is a guy that he has already has a name. He got many wins in the UFC. Just go and pass through him and increase your name under the UFC banner." So maybe that would be a good thing for UFC if they think that way, or no, or they think that I can beat him and they never gonna make this fight. What I know is that they are kind of taking care of him. Let's say like that, taking care. They want to increase his name because we have to admit that guy sells a lot.
Have you spoke to the UFC or anyone to let them know that Sean O'Malley is that fight you want next?
No, not really. I just gave a name, but this is with my manager. My manager is the one who take cares of that, so he will take care of it.
All right, and so I have one last question for you. It's an easy one or a complicated one, depending on how you take it. But realistically, when do you think we're going to see you fight again, if you have an idea?
Yeah, next year I think I believe the first quarter. By the end of the first quarter, okay. I'm not gonna rush it up too much, especially because I took some damage. So at this point, as much as I'm happy, as much as I'm very motivated, I need to cool down things and really take the time for me to heal. Okay, I trained for so long for this guy. I need to spend some time with my family, heal my mind, my body, my spirit, and start to prepare to do a pre-camp and then be ready to fight again. But I believe by the end of the first quarter of 2022, I'll be back.
All right, there we go. Well, thank you so much for the time, sir. I really appreciate it. Lots of good stuff, and
Appreciate it.
looking forward to a big 2022.
All right. Thank you very much.